Okay, so in the next video tutorial, just I'm going to first to add data in the database table. So here we have, these are the data. So that is, here we have a SQLite Explorer and the social events is a table name. Now, you know that show table. So just you can say that here we have a SQL tables. Okay, now just I want to add, okay. Now just I want to add a seeding to data into database table. So we all know that just I want to add a class under your persistence project, that is class, and the class name is seed dot seed is a class name. Under the seed class, just add a new method public async of task seed data. Okay, and here you can use data context, that is context. Okay, now we all know that it's a type of static, it's a type of utility function, and we all know that seed data is a type of, if you can check it from the context dot uh, social events dot any. I mean to say that any record in the database table, so return back. Otherwise we can add social events. Social events is new list of social event. Okay, so that we can add a new social event, and the first social event I mean to say okay, so first of all open your domain layer project and just open entities, and here we have a social event. Okay, so social event is like this one, and just open your seeding database. So here we have a social event, and here I'm going to add title first. Title is social event. I mean to say that uh, it's a social event one, social event one, and the next one is the description, or you can say about social event. The next one is category. Okay, and that is category is a part of, that is you know that it's a news, and a city is New York, and venue XYZ. Okay, so that one is already added, so you choose new line. Okay, okay, new social event part 2. About social event, category is media, New York City, and the venue is XYZ again. Social event 3, entertainment. Okay, so here we have three social events. Now just save this. Now after that I want to add the social events in the database table with the help of await context dot social events dot add range and add range async, and in which you can add social events. The next one is await context dot save changes async. Okay, now to add seeding data into the database table, so just add this seed class under your program.cs file. So just open API project and just open program.cs file. Now just before this method, you can just call it await with the help of seed class dot that is seed data, and in which you can just define the context. And what is the context is here? Context is that it's a part of applications. So you need to add this line of code just here, and just use await cd dot seeding database. So also you can use await here, context dot migrate async command. Okay, now save this. Now just use Control double T to open terminal and just close it all. Now just after that you can add cd API and use .NET watch command. Okay, I just got a persistence seed.cs. I just got a comma error under the persistence layer, and here we have an error message. So you can use comma just after the end of this, and again .NET watch command is applied with the hot reload features, and you can see that here we have a values are inserted into the into these categories. Okay, so at the rate p1 p1 p2 p3 p4 p5, and these are the data. Okay, now I want to check it. Here we have a social events, and that is the show table, and these are the data you can see. Okay, now just after that, here we have three records in a social events. So I want to go further. Okay, now just after that I want to add a controller here in under your API projects. So add a new directory under your under your API project. So select one and create a directory, and the name is controllers. Under the controllers we just add a new class, and that class name is just choose new C# class, and that class name is base API controller, and base API controller is an API controller. Okay, and also you can just add a routes. Just use API slash the controller name. Okay, now the base. So this is my base API controller and inherited by the controller base class, controller base class. Okay, now just after that I want to add a new controller, new C# class, and that is a social event controller. So that is social event controller class, and that class is inherited by the base API controller class. Okay, so that is from the base API controller. Now add a context injection here as a dependency. So private read only, that is data context class underscore context. Now just use this control dot, it's generate constructor with the this one, so that one. Okay, now just after that I want to add a verb to get all social event http get, and that is public async of task, that is action result of list of task of action result, a list of social event. Okay, get all social event. Okay, now just you can use return underscore context, sorry, underscore context. Okay, it's not a context here. So that is my context dot social events dot to list async. Okay, so I got an error message here, and what type of error? That is system.threading.task task. Okay, it's a you know that async, so you can use a wait here with the async method. Okay, now just get it the second task, that is http get, and with the id property, so you can use id here and get a social event, only one social event I want to get, and with their id property, so GUID id. Okay, and instead of list of social event I want to return only single social event, so context dot social event dot find async with their id property. Okay, so that is social event controller class. Now I want to run it, use control dot double T, and here we have a .NET API. And now wait for while, and you can see, do you want to restart your app? So you can just yes, start it again. Now I want to open it in the Postman, so just search it, Postman app, and now oops, old version of the Chrome apps, remove app Postman. Okay, but Postman is not there, so just I want to install the Postman first. Postman install. Now Postman is open, and now I want to add a request here, and that is, first of all, add your localhost slash API slash, the controller name is a social event. Okay, and just I want to get the send request, and here we have the empty found, because we all know that here we have a social event, and that is localhost 5000. Okay, so hit it again, and you will see that your output is there, like ID, title, description, category, city, and venues. So, and the response is okay, and taking time is 294 milliseconds, and the header size is in the byte, that is 624 byte. Okay, And here we have a cookies. There is a no information to save cookies. Headers, we have a content type is application oblique JSON, and date and server and the transform encoding, that is chunks. Okay. Now to get this information by using to this line of code in minimal API, or you can say that if you discard the minimal API and use controllers, you can use builder.services.add controllers with the middleware, and that middleware is like this middleware. So here we have a middleware that is app.map controllers. Now your output is there. Okay, and your output is like this, ID and this one. Okay, now the next part is to render output is correctly done. Now I want to start my client project, and what is the client project is, that is the client app. Here we have a client app. Now I want to run my client app first. How to run the client app? Okay, so that is my client application where we have a React applications. Now enter into the client application first, cd client app, and I want to run this client app with the wait. So you can use npm run dev, and your npm is start now with the localhost 5173, the port number, and here we go. Now I want to consume Vite plus React, and the application is running well. Now I want to design applications and get your social events where your API is running well at this level. So I want to that here we have a data like 200. Okay, okay. Now if you want to consume API in client application, you need to add Axios. So here we go for add a new PowerShell, and I want to add Axios in our application. So cd client app, and I want to install Axios here. Okay, so install Axios first. So npm install Axios. Now npm install Axios as well. Now after that you can open your the app.tsx file. So here we have a API project, and that is the client project, and here we have a src project. Under the src, here we have a app.tsx file, and I want to use app Axios here to get the social events. Okay, and we all know that if you want to get all the uh, informations from the server, just you can use axios.get request. Okay, but we all know that here we have a social event. You know that one is my social event, and I want to call, just you can use this data. It's a type of object, and that is the object type. But here I'm using TypeScript. So how to map this data? So you can use uh, C sharp, sorry, JSON to TypeScript. So here we have a convert JSON to TypeScript, and oops, okay, that's cool. Now here we have a JSON, and I want to convert it into the TypeScript. So you can use export interface root, and here I'm going to add a new directory first. Just after that, src create new directory, that is model, and under the model directory we just create a new file, that is TypeScript file, new file, and the file name is that is the social event. So here we have a social event.ts file, that is TypeScript file, and in the TypeScript file you can add export interface root, and the name of the root is social event. So the name is social event, and your data is there: ID, title, description, category, city, and the venue. Okay, now that is my social event here in under the model directory, and we all know that I want to use Axios here, but we all know that where we use Axios in the app component, and in the app component we use, first of all, use effect. Why we use effect? Why we use to use effect? Use effect actually generate a side effect, and the side effect is actually depend on the dependencies. So you can use effect hook, use effect, and use effect is actually is a method. So use control dot and update import from the React. Now use effect is actually use a side effect, so it's a method. So through this method we can use side effect here. Now the side effect is what? That is, I'm going to use Axios first. So Axios dot get request. So as Axios dot get, oops, Axios dot get, and get is what type of get I want to use it here. That is social event. So interface name is a social event. So you can use, it's a type of social event. Okay, and it's a type of method. So Axios is what? Axios is a library. So use import, add import from the Axios. So here we have Axios from Axios, and get is what? Dot get. Okay, get is a method through which we can define the URL. So what is the URL is there? So URL is just get it from, it's a list of social event. So I want to get a social event list. Okay, so here you can add a state first. So here I'm going to get social event state. So state social event, and state set state social event. Okay, so here we have a two variable under the use state, and use state is a type of, you know, that social event of type array, and in which you can just define empty array right now. Okay, now you know that social state social event is assigned but value never used. Okay, social event is declared but value is never used. So right now we are not using right now, but we will later use it. Okay, now in the use effect method we just use Axios to get the social event. Now after that we can use then. So then actually get the response. So you can use response of type, I want to get response, of type I want to get back. It's a method. So you can just use set state social event. It's a method through which we can just add, you can say set the social event. Okay, so you can use response dot data. Okay, and response dot data is a type of, you know, it's a type of, you know, okay, so here we just get the response, but the response is type of the social event type of array. So you can resolve the problem. So you just resolve this set state social event response.data, and response.data is a type of array of social event. We all know that state social event is not used right now, and state social event is a array type, and that is a list of social events. Okay, we all know that. So here we have a, you know, that that is the type of response here. So I I just use, you know, that one. So here I'm using dependencies, that is empty array. Why we use empty array? Because there is a no dependencies. Okay, so right now there is a no dependencies, but I want to explore my all the social events here. So here we have a divisions element. So just remove this division element, and I want to get all the social events with h1 tag. So you can use s2 tags. So list of, you can just place list of social events. Okay, and I want to use social events here. So now we all know that that is a state social event. there is a no use right now, so just comment it. Now we all use state social event. So that is the state social event dot map function, and map function is a function, okay, through which we can just get all the social events. So that is the first social event, that is the social event here, and I want to use it right now. So you can use return, and return is used here, and inside it you can just show the social events in the list tag. So here we have a list, and the class name is what, here I'm using bootstrap. Let me first to check it. Okay, first of all I want to check the bootstrap, otherwise there is a no use. So okay, later on I will use bootstrap. So list item, and I want to get back a social event. And what is the social event is? Social event is a defined but never used. Okay, so here I'm using social event dot, and I want to get back ID, and that is my social event. So ID is like this one. Okay, and and you can just add social event dot title. Okay, so here we have a social event dot id and social event dot name. That's cool. Now here we have a list of social events dot map. Okay, but each li element have a unique id property. So we all know that just you can use key is what, that is social event dot id is a unique id. So just save this. Now we all know that what is the impact on it in the React.js. So list of the social events is cool, but I just got a error in the compilation process. So console is what, XML request, and that is the blocked by the course property. Okay, request is done, but blocked by the course property, that is cross origin resource sharing. And how to set the cross origin resource sharing in the at the level of API project. So API project is there, and I want to set the course level properties first in the program.cs file. So here you can use cross course service first. So builder dot services dot add course with the policy. So here you can use policy dot add policy, add a default policy. So add policy, and the policy name is right there in the double quotation. So you can use course policy, that is course policy, and inside the policy, so inside the policy, inside the course policy, you can just, sorry, policy, that is the P. And what about this? So P dot allow any header, any method. So dot allow any header, any method dot with origins. And what is the origins is, just I want to get this origin, and that is localhost 5173 is the origin. So that is my origin. Okay, now just after that I want to use pipeline. So here I'm using app.use course, and inside it you can add the policy name. And what is the policy name is, here I'm using, that is course policy. Okay, now just after that I want to restart your project again. So that is my .NET API project. Oops. Now Control C for the code reload, and .NET watch again. Now .NET Watch to rebuild your project again and restart it. Okay, now you can fetch it here. It's everything fine. Now in the API project, here we have a list of social events, and now hit it again. And here we have a social events like social event 2, social event 1 and social event 3. So these are the data. We all know that. So that is the social event. Okay.